The time is here to talk about the Pronto plumbing explosion. Please take the 6 minutes out of your life to watch this video entirely. You never know, it could save your life. But first, I want to do a disclaimer. Obviously, when the house exploded, it's tragic. People lost their livelihood. Imagine if that were to happen to you. Luckily, no one died. I believe there were no injuries or life-threatening injuries. I want to make it a point that the video that I will show later on and the pictures and images that I'm going to show later on are not mine. They are from the internet and what I found online when I looked it up and did some research. Now, this is a tragic event that happened. I am not going to be making any money off of this video. I don't want to try to use this as any clickbait. This video is strictly for educational purposes and awareness to avoid this happening again. Now that we got that out of the way, let's hop into the video. I'm going to assume most of you have not seen my short of the house exploding. I'm going to put the video up really quick so you can take a look at that. Now, if I'm being honest, it is insane that no one got badly injured. There were so many people that were right there on the lawn when that house exploded. I read online that the last firefighter, after they tested the house to see how much gas was in it, was walking outside of the house and got his last step onto the grass, and then the house exploded. Talk about having God on your side that day. Let's dive into what happened before this tragic event happened. On December 13th of 2022, Pronto Plumbing, a contractor in PA, was going out to a house to replace and dig up their sewer line. Now, any professional contractor knows before you dig anything at all, you call your local one call. And in this case, we just call it PA one call or 811. For the ones that don't know what that is, they contact the utility companies to go out to the property and mark the lines underground. They search for them some sort of way and they mark them with spray paint. Now, not as important, but each utility is a color code pretty much. And I'll put a picture up right here. If you want to look at that, you can pause the video just to inform yourself. Now, let me tell you, I have personally been on over 100 or so dig jobs. That's what we call it when we're digging up a sewer line as a plumber. UGI, they are responsible for marking the gas line, is always the worst at not marking their lines, or they're late, or they mark it wrong, or something always goes wrong with UGI for some reason. Now, UGI is sadly famous for blowing up houses, and it's not funny, but they are, and it's something you can't look past. By the title of this video, I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. On that date, UGI did not mark their lines. That's mistake number one. But as any contractor should do, if something isn't marked, you shouldn't dig. And that's exactly what Pronto Plumbing failed to do. Now, I get it. Time is money, and the longer you're there, the more money you're wasting. It's not like UGI never showed up. They were on their way to mark the line. So that was mistake number two from the contractor Pronto Plumbing. While they were digging, UGI showed up, and it was almost like from a movie, because as soon as they showed up, they hit the gas line. Now, many people don't know this part. With natural gas, there's a gas meter usually located outside, and then it then enters into the house and then feeds whatever utilities need it. But in this case, for some reason, the gas meter was inside of their basement, so they had hard pipe coming from underground, going into their house, into the gas meter, which is connected by a union. So with the excavator being as powerful as it is, with a gas line not being marked, you have no idea where it is. So when the excavator was digging and digging, the teeth of the bucket caught the gas line underground, pulling it out of the union and just dumping gas into their basement. Now, when that happened, they did the proper procedures of calling the fire department, letting everyone know, letting their boss know, dealing with it professionally, which is good. But I don't think they realized how much gas was being pumped at such a short amount of time. And by the time the fire department got there, the house was practically completely filled with gas. I read an article online saying that as soon as the fire department came in to do their testing to see how much gas particles were in the air, in a matter of less than 5 minutes, they realized that they had to get the hell out of that house. And like I said earlier in the video, luckily they did. Now, as a contractor and as a business owner, you never want to do something like this. This is probably the worst nightmare you can ever have. And I'm not making this video to rag on Pronto Plumbing. They've been around for a while. I've seen some of their work. They do great work. This was just the worst day of their life. Let's go into the after portion of it. I found out that the fireman that was walking out of the house when the explosion occurred, he had very minor injuries, but he's probably scared shitless for the rest of his life. I believe the neighbor and the contractor that fell in the video also went to the hospital with minor injury. Now let's all take a moment of silence for their pet cat that lost its life in the house explosion. I think that's pretty common knowledge now. When I saw the video, I looked at the comments and there was over thousands of comments talking about rip the cat, oh no, not the cat. So sadly, yes, a life was taken during this explosion. That is about it from all the information I have on this explosion. Hopefully you were informed on what to and what not to do during a dig job or digging anything up. Hopefully this information was useful, and I hope that you learned something from this video on what not to do when you're digging anything in your yard or for a company or anything at all. I guarantee you the people that used to live in this house obviously had no plans that this was going to happen. So that means be safe, be smart, and don't be greedy. It only will cost you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.